Okay, everybody, welcome to the flipped class. Today we're going to be talking about ratios, rates, and ratio tables. But first, I've got a little riddle for you. And yes, I know you can Google this and bring the answer tomorrow, but there's no fun in that. I'm going to give you a riddle. You try to figure it out on your own, and then tell me what you came up with next time I see you in class. Okay, I have 2 coins in my pocket. Together, they add up to be 30 cents. One of them is not a nickel. What are the 2 coins? Okay, you think about that, and let's jump into our flipped math. Okay, a ratio is a comparison of 2 quantities using division. So, for example, you can use a ratio to compare the number of violins with the number of violas. Okay, there are 29 violins compared to, 12 violas. So you have a ratio of 29 to 12. You can write that as a fraction, as I have done. You could write it as 29 to 12. Or where you, maybe more importantly, may have seen this, a ratio looking like this, 29 to 12. There are 29 violins compared to 12 violas. Okay? Let's look at a couple of others just for some more examples here. Okay, what about flutes to clarinets? Well, there are 5 flutes to 4 clarinets. So we could write it like 5 to 4. Write it 5 to 4. Write it as 5/4. Okay. We could also, if we wanted to compare a part to the whole, if I asked you trumpets to total instruments. Well, there are 3 trumpets, and there are 95 total instruments. 3 to 95. That's a part of the whole compared to the whole. Another thing that you could do is compare the whole to a part. So if I said total instruments to basses, there's 95 total instruments. There are 9 basses, 95 to 9. Okay, let's keep going. All right, when we're using ratios, we can also compare rates. Okay, for example, and I'm going to make this real easy for now. Okay, eventually we'll jump into, not even just eventually, but very soon, we'll jump into using decimals. But I'm going to make this easy for the point of my example. If I said I wanted a ratio of the price of a 2-liter to the number of liters. Okay, let's say a 2-liter costs you $2. And of course, how many 2 liters are in, or how many liters are in a 2-liter? Well, that's obvious. 2. So you have $2 for 2 liters. Okay, now if I wanted to make this even easier and compare a unit rate, that would be if I was comparing how much does 1 liter cost. Even though it comes in a 2-liter, how much does 1 liter cost? Well, I would divide both of those by 2. So I could get 1 liter, and $2 divided by 2, obviously is going to be $1. Now, when we get into it, for example, it would probably maybe be like 198 for 2 liters, and we have to divide the 198. I'm just doing this as a little bit more of a quick example. When would this come in handy? Well, if you ever go to the store and you're going to buy detergent, or you're going to buy any kind of liquid, there might be different sizes. Well, you want to be able to decide and determine what is the better deal. This is one way to do it. Okay? If I was going to mix the perfect paint, I was going to paint my wall, and I wanted the perfect shade of green, and I found that if I use 3 cans of yellow and 2 cans of blue, my ratio of, actually let me do this, make it even more obvious. My ratio would be 3 to 2, yellow to blue. Okay. Now, let's say I used that ratio, 3 cans of yellow, 2 cans of blue, made the perfect green, painted my wall, and decided I wanted to paint my other 4 walls. So I need to buy more. Well, if I needed to buy double that, I would have to multiply that by 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. So I'd need 6 cans of yellow, 4 cans of blue. If that wasn't enough, I could multiply by 3. So you see that we're making a table based on our ratio. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, if I even needed more, you get the idea, but times 4. I'm starting with my original ratio here. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, think about that brain teaser I gave you. Don't Google it. There's no fun in that. Come tomorrow, or come next time I see you. We'll check that out, and we'll talk more about ratios and rates. Can't wait. I'll see you then.